I'm Krizia. Welcome to my channel. I am going to show you my library haul and my April TBR. Okay, it's a lot. It's 14 books from the library. Does anybody else wonder like how much the library actually cares that you turn in things late, or if they're like happy to get that money? I just always feel like such a jerk when I turn in things late because I know somebody has that book on their holds list, but I mean, I guess like another book in rotation will come available, but I don't know. See, it's a lot of books. It's really heavy. So for the month of April, I'm only going to read 3 of my own books. Geralds Game by Stephen King, and I have seen the movie, which I thought was pretty incredible and really freaking scary, and it actually made me really squeamish. Like, I'm used to gory horror movies. I really like Evil Dead remake. But the scene after she figures out what to do with the handcuffs made me literally like have to pause the movie and I almost threw up. Next is Such a Fun Age by Riley Keed? No. Next is Such a Fun Age by Riley Keed. No. Next is Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed. And I have the audiobook from Libby. And I'm going to hybrid read this, so have the audiobook on 2 times the speed and be reading it as I go, which is a way that I can finish a book really fast, because this has been on my TBR for a really long time and I really want to get to it. And I like that. I think this takes place over a really short amount of time, which I really like. I might be wrong about that. I'm sure everybody knows what this is about by now, but it's basically about a nanny, a black nanny who's babysitting a white child, like a 4 or 5-year-old, and they're out at a grocery store and somebody thinks that the nanny has like kidnapped the child, and it's just this whole racist spectacle, and I think it just has to do with the aftermath of that. Next, I'm going to read The Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek by Kim Michelle Richardson. Not only a bookwoman, however, she's also the last of her kind. She's facing a treacherous route, and she'll have to confront dangers and prejudice, it says. This is my failed Polaroid I'm using as a bookmark. It was a picture of my cat on her patio, and it, as you can see, the exposure was off and you can't even tell what it is. I have here My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell, and this is about a 15-year-old girl who is groomed and taken advantage of by her teacher. And I guess I'm just really interested in the subject matter because I just watched the TV show A Teacher, which was based on another book, I believe, and it's just really creepy and captivating to see how that abuse happens. I'm not saying it's enjoyable. It's very harrowing experience, but it's just so crazy to see that unfold and to just see, like, I guess manipulation is really interesting to read about, even if it's really difficult to read. Next, I have Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson, and I just read Grown by her and I really liked it, so I wanted to read this next one because I've heard that it is really sad, and I love me a sad book, and the cover is amazing. I think this is about a girl whose best friend goes missing, and like nobody cares, and there's not enough resources of people trying to find her, and it's about her feeling really desperate about that. If it's anything like Grown, I know that I can expect like really fast-paced, engaging, tightly edited, good writing. Next, I have Ghost Variations, which is a short story collection. 100 stories, I guess, are in here, and this is by Kevin Brockmeyer. I don't know anything about this. Just look at this cover. That is the reason why I checked this out. This is an amazing cover, and it's kind of, it's made shiny by this library copy, but I think when I looked online, there was like a larger, more matte version of this book, and it was just like the coolest cover. I don't want to know too much about this going into it, but it says, ghost stories tap into our most primal emotions as they encourage us to confront the timeless question, what comes after death? Here, in tales that are by turns scary, funny, philosophic, and touching, you'll find that question sharpened, split, reconsidered, and met with a multitude of answers. Whoa, that sounds cool. So it doesn't sound like straight up horror, it sounds like genre bending kind of stuff, and like it must be a huge variety of stories if it's 100. So next we have Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour, and I got this from the library a couple days ago, but I already finished it because Nina LaCour is one of my favorite authors of all time with her novel We Are Okay, and I gave it a 4-star. I really liked it. Nina LaCour is so incredible at writing like tender, captivating. You really feel for the characters. You care about them immediately and you just sense their longing and like there's always something that they're after. I think her emotional arcs are really amazing. Next I have Beach Read by Emily Henry. I'm trying to read more romance so that times when I feel already kind of bummed out or in a bad mood, I have something to like pick me up. I kind of forget how much I like romance movies. Like I love When Harry Met Sally. I love What If with Daniel Radcliffe. I love a really cheesy one, Hidden Gem, A Guy Thing with Jason Lee, Selma Blair, and Julia Stiles. So I feel like I would probably enjoy more like romance with like a comedy element in it, and I think that Beach Read is that, because I think it's about 2 colleagues that are authors who go on a beach vacation and they're in a really like a writing slump, and so they switch genres and they're like, you write mine, I'll write yours, and we'll come together after and see what we can create. So that's pretty cool. Next I have On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. And I think this is a one that people say absolutely makes them cry. Like I feel like this book is like number 2 under A Little Life as far as like people's really strong reactions to it, of just like incredibly depressing and sad but beautiful writing. I think this is about a guy who is writing a letter to his mother who passed away. I don't know if it was through a sickness, a physical sickness, or through her own choice. And it has to do with emigration from Vietnam, and it takes place in Connecticut. I just have a really strong feeling that I'm going to love this book. I think just the title of it kind of hints at the type of writing that will be in it. It's just that's a beautifully crafted sentence. Amazing title. That's a 5-star prediction for me for sure. And if anybody wants to buddy read that, please hit me up. Next we have Seance Tea Party by Raymina Yi. And this is a really cute graphic novel about a girl and her ghost friend that she summons through, well, obviously a seance tea party. And I started this, and the setup is kind of all over the place for me so far, but I'm hoping I can get into it because I really like this premise. I was really into ghost and paranormal stuff when I was 11, so if this feels like almost like nostalgic, even though I've never read it. And it also has like very autumnal vibes and just like cozy vibes, but adventure too. A cozy adventure, I'm always down for that. Next we have Disfigured by Amanda Leduc, not sure. And this is a non-fiction about disability rights and fairy tales and how, I believe, like how unfair and ableist disability portrayal in fairy tales is and has always been. I'm super interested to read this. I've started a few pages and it's quite academic. It's a little bit less approachable than I thought it would be, but I'm still enjoying it. I really like the size of this book is really cute. Next I have Little Weirds by Jenny Slate, and Jenny Slate is a comedian, might be best known for playing Mona Lisa Saperstein on Parks and Rec, and she has some amazing stand-up comedy and a few indie comedies under her belt, and she's just really unique and cool. And I read a couple essays in there, and her mind is so brilliant and strange and lyrical, but like off-putting in like a really interesting way, and just it's a little bit weird. Next I have Bunny by Mona Awad. And this is about a group of college girls in some sort of weird sort of cult. And I know that there's a really punchy magical realism element in this. And I've heard a lot of people say it is extremely bizarre, and it's very, like, a lot of people love it or hate it. And that I always want to read a book that half the people adore it and half the people hate it. Like, that's super intriguing to me. It's another one that I would really like to buddy read with somebody. So if you have that on your TBR, you have a copy, or you're about to get it from your library, please let me know. Next we have White Teeth by Zadie Smith, and this is just an author that I feel that, I mean, clearly is a very important author that I've never read. So I don't even know what this book is about. I don't. 3 cultures and 3 families over 3 generations, and the tricky way the past has of coming back and biting you in the ankle. Interesting. It's called a riotous read. I don't know what that means, but I'm excited. Next we have Giel by Junji Ito. This is about a infected, monstrous entity that comes out of the ocean, and I'm about halfway through and liking it a lot more than Romina, liking it less than Uzumaki but more than Romina, and it's just absolutely disgusting, and it's really well paced and it's super creative, and I'm really enjoying it. Next we have The Diviners by Lippa Bray, and I heard about this when I was a teenager, and I think I tried to read it as a teen but maybe just like wasn't in the mood. There was absolutely nothing wrong with it, but I think I wasn't in the mood for it at the time. But I am going to read it because Katie Coulson talks about it a lot, and she just absolutely sells it. And also Kat from Paperback Dreams mentioned it being really scary, which I actually hadn't heard that this was a horror, so I'm pretty interested in that. Last we have 100 Nights a Hero by Isabel Greenberg. It says, you will read of betrayal, loyalty, madness, bad husbands, lovers both faithful and unfaithful, wise old crones, moons who come out of the sky, musical instruments that won't stay quiet, friends and brothers and fathers and mothers, and above all, many, many sisters. And it's about stories and storytelling, and I really like the color scheme of it. Blues and greens. No, that's not what I meant to say. That is my April TBR, and yes, it's about 20 books, so I'll probably only get to, 10 to 15 of them, and a few of them are graphic novels, so that's my estimate. I like to plan a TBR and then mood read through it, so we'll just see what sticks off of those. And please comment if you have plans to read any of these, or if you already have, and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye!